My dear, I have something important to discuss with you. Our silence speaks louder than any words ever could. The truth I hold is fragile. Listen closely before it shatters your carefully built world. Sometimes the hardest conversation is the one begging for the deepest honesty. I've carried this secret in my chest, waiting for a moment you're ready to hear it. What I'm about to say might break you, but healing always begins with brokenness. Love isn't always soft. Sometimes it's a fierce truth demanding to be told. The space between us is heavy because I haven't shared what weighs on my soul. If I'm quiet, it's because I'm summoning courage to speak what scares me most. There's a wound between us that only truth's light can begin to heal. I owe you honesty, even if it feels like cutting through sacred silence. The words I keep hidden aren't absence. They're a storm waiting for release. I'm afraid the truth will push you away, but I fear silence more. Our love deserves a conversation that shakes the foundation beneath our feet. The hardest part isn't speaking, it's hoping you'll still listen after I do. I want to share my soul's darkness, but fear it'll eclipse our light. There's something in me that's begging to be seen, even if it's broken. I've rehearsed this truth in silence. Now it's time to let it breathe. Love means risking all for the raw, unfiltered conversation that truly matter. The weight of unsaid words is heavier than any silence we've known. Before I speak, know this. My heart trembles under the truth it must share. I've hidden this conversation in shadows, but now it demands the sun. The love we have is worth the pain that truth sometimes brings. If I falter, remember, it's vulnerability, not weakness, I'm showing. I carry a confession that could heal or haunt us forever. Love's deepest truths always arrive wrapped in discomfort and raw honesty. There's a fracture in us, and I want to mend it with open words. I'm standing on the edge of confession, afraid to fall, but ready to leap. Our silence has been loud enough. Let's speak what needs to be spoken. The truth I hold will either free us or forever change the story we tell. I'm asking you to trust me with the parts I've hidden away. Love is the courage to reveal the parts that fear rejection most. The pain of speaking truth is less than the agony of holding it back. What I'm about to say carries the weight of my soul's deepest ache. In this conversation lies the bridge between heartbreak and healing. The most important things are often whispered in the quietest moments. I've been waiting for the right time. Maybe that time is now. The truth doesn't always sound beautiful, but it always sets us free. I want to break the silence before it breaks us completely. I hope you'll meet me in this vulnerable space where truth lives. My heart is a fragile book. Will you read its darkest pages? Some truths arrive not as a gift, but a necessary reckoning. I'm trembling because this truth means everything and nothing at once. We owe ourselves the honesty that love demands, no matter how raw. The silence between us is screaming the conversation we must have. I want to speak, even if my voice shakes with fear. Love isn't perfect. It's brave enough to face what scares it most. There's a wound only honesty's light can begin to heal. I hold this truth tenderly, hoping it finds you ready to receive it. What I'm about to say might unravel us, or maybe finally free us. The hardest conversations create the strongest bonds if we survive them. I've been afraid to speak because some truths change everything. Our love is a fragile fire. Let's not smother it with silence. The distance grew because I didn't know how to say what's true. If love is real, it can survive the truth I'm about to share. I've bottled up this truth for too long. Now it demands to be heard. The most sacred love stories begin with the courage to speak honestly. There's a weight on my chest, a confession that wants to breathe free. I'm afraid to lose you, but more afraid to lose myself in silence. I want to be honest, even if honesty fractures the illusion of us. The silence between us is a quiet scream for truth. This conversation will be the turning point. Brace yourself for what's coming. I'm holding my truth like a fragile flame, hoping it doesn't burn us. The love we deserve asks for truth, even when it hurts. I'm not just speaking to be heard. I'm speaking to be understood. Sometimes love means shattering comfort to reveal the raw, messy truth. What I need to say has been waiting for this moment. Our love story isn't complete without this honest chapter. I want to unravel the silence that's strangling our connection. Love is the courage to reveal scars, not hide them away. The truth I hold is a fragile seed. Will you nurture it or let it die? I've waited for the courage to speak this truth. Today feels right. What I'm about to say might break us or bind us closer. The hardest truths come wrapped in trembling voices and pounding hearts. I want you to see me, even the parts I fear you'll reject. Love is raw, unfiltered honesty, even when it's painful to share. I'm afraid the truth will push you away, but fear silence more. This conversation is the medicine or poison. Only time will tell. I'm breaking silence because our love demands it, no matter the cost. What I'm about to share is the deepest part of my soul. If this touched your soul, don't scroll, like, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. The courage to speak truth is the bravest act of love. Silence is the shadow. Truth is the light we must walk toward. I'm offering you my truth, raw and unguarded, with trembling hands. Sometimes love means risking everything for the truth that sets us free. The space between us is aching for the words I'm scared to say. I'm tired of hiding what lives deep inside my heart. Love demands honesty, even if honesty demands sacrifice. The hardest conversation is the one that holds the most healing. I want you to know my truth before the silence consumes us. Our love is sacred enough to survive the truths we fear. I'm speaking now because silence has cost us too much already. Love is the willingness to reveal what frightens us most. The truth isn't always gentle, but it's always necessary. I carry this conversation like a fragile flame, hoping it ignites understanding. Sometimes the hardest words bring the deepest peace. I want to be honest, even if honesty breaks the mold we built. What I have to say comes from a place of love and desperation. Our love is waiting on the other side of this difficult truth. I'm afraid, but love gives me the strength to speak anyway. This conversation is a doorway. Will you walk through it with me? The hardest silence is the one before truth finally breaks through. I'm trembling not from fear, but from the weight of what must be said. Our love needs truth like a rose needs sunlight, no matter the thorns. The truth I guard feels like a storm inside my fragile chest. I want to unburden my soul, even if it means shaking our world. Love's bravest act is laying down the armor and speaking raw truth. The space, boy, between us is heavy with words unsaid and feelings unseen. I'm scared, but silence terrifies me more than your reaction ever could. Truth is a wild river. Sometimes it floods, sometimes it heals. I'm holding this confession close, hoping it finds you soft and open. Sometimes love means shattering illusions to build something real from rubble. I'm afraid the truth will burn, but I'd rather burn than freeze. This conversation is a fragile thread, pulling us toward healing or heartbreak. My heart aches to be heard, not just seen or ignored. The truth waits patiently, even when fear tries to bury it deep. I'm speaking now because the silence is too loud to bear. Our love isn't perfect, but it's honest enough to face the darkest storms. I want to risk everything for the truth I carry inside. The silence between us is a fragile crack begging to be widened. I'm ready to speak, even if my voice trembles with uncertainty. What I'm about to say carries the weight of every unspoken word. Love is a battlefield where truth is both weapon and shield. I'm breaking my silence because love deserves that much courage. The truth I hold is a flame, delicate but impossible to ignore. I want to share my soul's darkness with you, hoping you see the light. Sometimes love's greatest gift is the brutal honesty we fear most. I'm afraid to lose you, yet more afraid to lose myself in silence. Our story needs this truth to be written, no matter how painful. I'm standing at the edge of confession, hoping you'll catch me. The silence has been deafening. It's time for the truth's voice. I'm carrying a secret heavy enough to change everything between us. Love asks for bravery, the kind that speaks truth even when it hurts. I want you to know the part of me I hide behind smiles. What I'm about to say might unravel us or bring us closer. The weight of unsaid words has become unbearable to hold alone. I'm trembling, not from weakness, but from the courage to be honest. Love's truest moments are born from vulnerability and raw confession. I've waited long enough to share this truth. It's time now. The silence between us is a wall. Let's tear it down with truth. I'm afraid to speak, but afraid not to even more. What I carry in my heart demands to be heard, not hidden. I want to break the chains of silence that bind us both. Our love deserves a conversation, unafraid of pain or truth. I'm ready to speak what my heart has kept silent for too long. The truth isn't always gentle, but it's always necessary for healing. I'm breaking silence to save the fragile love we still hold. The hardest conversations often hold the greatest hope for us.